Hey guys, Jim the Game Guru. Okay, today's video, let's get into some shifting stones. Something fairly new and recent I've seen out there, and I picked it up. And it's not bad. It's actually a really simple kind of puzzle game with a little bit of strategy where you're shifting stones around on a 3x3 grid. And you have to match patterns on that 3x3 grid in order to score points. So there's a little bit of strategy, even though they say on the cover on the top here, a game of tiles and tactics. The tactics are kind of small. A majority of the tactics in this game is just preventing other people from getting patterns and moving the stones around, so it makes it harder for them to match and then have them burn their cards. But other than that, it's actually a really light game. I feel like it's a game that you can actually play with children, probably like 10-year-old children should be able to play this game perfectly fine. So I'm gonna dive in, I'll show you the components. There's not many, there's only 9 stone tile components, and then there's a deck of cards that have patterns and points on them. And then I'll just do a really simple how to play, because the game is actually very, very, very simple. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing or following. All right, so let's take a look at the table here with shifting stones on there. So as you can see, the 3x3 grid, and these 3x3 grid tiles actually are double-sided. So this purple tile right here has this symbol, and on the back side it's got a ship with a different color. They are all the same type of way. So you have this moon, and then you have this yellow, and you have this green, and then you have this white, and then you have, let me see what the fish is. The fish is the red, or pink, I should say, pink and fish, goldfish. I can't remember which is the back side of the, oh yeah, the white and green are the same, or the same tiles. And then you have a deck up here of pattern cards. Every player, right here I have it set up for a 2-player. Every player gets dealt 4 cards. And let's just go ahead and show you guys the cards. Look at the back side. Pretty nice art to the back side. I mean, it's pretty basic, but it looks nice. Each and every single card, you have a pattern. So like this one has a blue ship on the bottom left, and then the pink on the top right, and then the amount of points that you get for getting that pattern. Here you have to have a purple on top and a ship turquoise on the bottom, and you get 1 point, and this one you get 2 for having these in different corners, and then this one double fish for 2. Every card is set up the same exact way. Pattern, scorecard, and the important thing to notice in this game that the orientation matters. So what do I mean by orientation? Is that when you match the patterns, you have to match it just like this on the board. There's none of this turning this card like this or turning it like this. Oh, look, if I turn the card like this, then I can have those there. No. You cannot do that. There's no turning of the cards. So anytime you match a pattern for scoring, it has to be just like this. And the board has to completely match north, south, west, and east. Every player does have a reference card too. So that way, in case you're wondering, hey, what tile turns into what tile when you flip it? This will actually tell you what the tiles turn into. The reason why this one is gray, the reason why this one's white, because if you notice on the board, there's no first person token at all. This is the first person token. So this reference card in gray background tells you the person who was the first player. And then everybody else gets a white one. Now, what do you do on your turn? Basically, what you do is you have several different options. First, is you can discard a pattern card to the discard pile up here in order to flip one of these stones over to the other side. Or you can discard a pattern card to the discard pile in order to shift 2 adjacent stones and make them swap places. So I can make this and this swap place just like that by discarding a card. Anytime you discard a card, it allows you to shift the stones or flip them. There are no diagonal shifts, so I cannot shift these 2. That is an illegal move. Everything in this game works with adjacency. No diagonals whatsoever. So the goal of this game is to actually score patterns, and then once one player gets a certain amount of patterns scored, and I believe for a 2-player game it's 10 cards, and then the more people you have playing the game, it's actually less cards that need to be scored in order to trigger the end game. Then what you do is you count the points, and then whoever has the most points wins the game. Whoever scores the most 1-point cards gets a 3-point bonus. So that is one thing to always keep in mind, because that might be something that tips the scale. Because if everyone's discarding 1-point pattern cards, and you're the only person that has 2 1-point pattern cards scored on your side, that could be enough to get you an additional 3 points and win the game. So just because you are the initiator of the end of game trigger does not mean you will win the game. Because somebody else can get the 3-point bonus, or somebody else could have actually higher point cards down on their side. So let's go ahead and kick it off. I'm just going to do a couple of rounds. Very, very simple. I'm not going to go very far into this. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at my patterns here. Looks like I have a turquoise here, red here. Well, I got nothing there. So I'm trying to think of what's the easiest thing that I can discard in order to get some points. So what I could do is I could discard this 1-point card, since it's only a 1-pointer. And I can go ahead and shift these two right here for player 1. And then player 1 could then score this pattern, right? Because I have 2 purples, just like that, in the same orientation. So now I have 2 points here for player 1. And you continue playing. So you notice I haven't gone to player 2 yet, because player 1 has not finished their turn. I can continue to discard and try to match more patterns if I want to. What does this orange one turn into? Oh, it turns into a black moon. This one right here turns into white. I'm not sure what I want to do here. What I might do... And then what's the one that turns into orange? Oh, the pink turns into the orange. Oh, so I'm screwed then. Alright, so what I'll do is I'm just going to go ahead and whatever, just to have some fun, I'll discard that and I will shift these two over just like that, just for fun. And I am done my turn. What happens is then player 1 gets their cards replenished up to 4 cards. I scored 1, dumped 2, and only had 1 card left. So now I get additional cards to replenish. Now, if you notice, I got a bunch of 1 cards, a bunch of trash cards. So these ones I could be probably using to discard, or maybe a simple score on my next turn if I want to. I think the strategy, the tactics in this game, and like I said in my intro, it's very, very small amount of tactics. I think where the tactics come into play is getting rid of the trash cards in your hand and moving these around to make it harder for other people to get patterns, and then replenishing your hand with higher point cards. So player 2 is gonna go, and wow, they have a 3-pointer and a 2 and a 1-1. Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and discard that. I will turn this into ship. And then, because I'm gonna try to get this 3-point card right here, I'm gonna try to match the pattern, which is green, orange, and then ship. And then I'm gonna go ahead and discard this other 1 card, point card, and I'm gonna shift these two, just like that. And then what do I need? I need the green to come over here and the orange to come down. See, I still can't do that. What can this turn into? This can turn into orange. Oh, man, that's... Oh, I am so close. So close. Okay, so I'll discard that, and then I'll just shift these over, just like that. All right, they're done. Then they get their hand replenished back up to 4. And then we got some more 3 points and 2 and a 1-point card. Player 1 is going to go. So we'll do this as the last round, this how to play. Because as you can see, this game is ultra simple. So player 1's going to go. What can we do? Did this turn into a white? Oh, this can turn into a white. Okay. So maybe what they'll do is they'll discard this, flip this, turn this into a white. There you go. So now they just match. 2 whites. 2 whites give them this pattern, which is only a 1-pointer. Okay, no big deal. But at least they matched it. So what do we have now? Now we have a green and a purple, but nothing there. Does this turn into a green? No, this turns into a red. And then this is what? Pink and then blue on 2 sides. Maybe what they'll do is they'll get rid of that, and then they'll shift these over. So they'll put the blue over there and that there. Okay, player 2 is going to go. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's replenish the 4 cards for player 1. There you go. Player 1 gets 4 cards back into their hand. Player 2 is now going to go, and let's see if they can actually fulfill their dreams of getting the patterns. Oh man. So let's go ahead and discard that. We're going to flip this to a green. Yes. So we got green there. This turns into what? This turns into orange. Oh, there we go. So they're going to go ahead and get rid of this 2. Yep, we'll get rid of that. So we had green and we need an orange. So we're flipping this one here. And then there you go. They just scored this pattern right here. Green, orange, and blue ship. So they got 3 points. Player 1's got 3 points. And as you can see, it's kind of so far balanced in that aspect that no one has outscored the other one significantly so far within 2 rounds. So then player 2 is going to end their turn. They're going to replenish their hand. And wow, they've got a lot of high point cards now. They have a 3, 2, 2, and a 3. And that is how easy it is to play the game. And then we just keep going for 2 players. The first person that scores 10 cards triggers game end. And then everyone left in that round will play their hand, and then you just add up the points, and that's it. The person with the most points wins the game. Easy, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And the thing that I didn't touch on earlier was one thing I really like about these stone cardboard pieces is if I turn this at a certain angle, so they're kind of engraved almost. It's I mean, I don't know what you call this, where the cardboard gets kind of like these. Almost like it's like an engraving. Every stone on both sides is like that, which is really cool. I like the way they feel. I wish these weren't cardboard though. If these were like metal and all these are like metal plates painted, that would be so much cooler. I like the game. It's really simple. You can play with, like I said earlier, you can play with kids, older kids, probably about 8, 10, and any other people in your family members, any other adults, I think would be able to play this easy peasy. Good looking game, simple, and that's it. If you guys like this video, please like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.